Hello, hello, welcome. Realize that your life is the way it is because of the way you think. And if you want to experience something different, you have to tell a new story and then remain faithful to that new story. This is Christ consciousness. This is the renewed mind. That is the rebirth. That you are the God of your experience because you are the reason that you're experiencing the life you're experiencing because of the way you're thinking. That's what we mean by that you are God, that we are gods, that we are commanding life based on our thoughts about it. Hey, neighbor. Hello, butterfly. You told yourself I was going live today. Good to have you here. So I said I am Toyia and I'm going live. Cool. How are you? That quantum entanglement, thought transmission is at work. Oh, that's beautiful. We got to tell a new story. We can't keep telling the same old story and then expecting that life is going to be different. You can't keep talking about the problems. Can't keep focusing on the difficulties. You can't keep complaining, because complaining never solves anything. It only makes things, keeps you focused on the problem rather than solution. And what's interesting about that is that it's only a problem because you say it is. If you stop saying it was a problem, then it wouldn't be one. Stop looking at life as a problem. Look at it as just what it is, an experience. Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for asking. So what's the story? What story are you telling yourself? What story are you writing? Hey, Janae. Welcome. We have to be consistent with our new story, right? Being consistent with a version, with an identity shift, right? Allowing things to take shape, allowing things to take form, right? Operating from a new mindset. The mindset that says all is well. Things are working out for me. All things work together for my good. Hey. How's everyone doing today? Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing today? Happy Thursday. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm glad you're no longer scared. Yes. That part, just being you. Yep, we just have to be happy being in our own skin. And I know sometimes it can feel a little, sometimes we talk ourselves into thinking that we're alone, that, we gotta isolate and we gotta exclude ourselves from others because we're worried about other people's energy and other people's negativity or other people's low vibrational thoughts. Take your mind off other people. That's the simple solution. Take your mind off other people. Put your focus on you. And if you're going to put your mind on other people, put it on the mindset that, hey, I'm the vibe. They love my vibe. They love when I come around because I lift the room up. I bring the high vibrations. I bring the sunshine. You are the sunshine. You are the sunlight. You are the lifeline. You are the sunshine in my life. Let people say that you're the sunshine. That when you enter the room, when you come into the space, that they're glad to see you there. Instead of you worrying about how they're going to drag you down and bring you down, why don't you flip that on his head and say, hey, I bring the sunshine. I am the vibe. I change the vibration in the room. You know, when I'm there, it's always a good time. You cracking up? Yes, I am the light of the world. Exactly. Say right on time. Yes, Janae. Yes. Hey, Tasia. How are you? Say sing it again. Hey, Mia. Right? Because that will solve all the problems if we just stop thinking about what other people think and only care about what we think. That is our story, right? It's only what's going on in our mind. Not even being aware of who may be in a bad mood or who may be low vibration or who may be negative. You don't even recognize it. Like you're such in a zone. You're such there for, a good time and high vibrations, and you don't even recognize who may be, feeling some type of way. That doesn't even register to you. That's the mindset you want to have. I'm out today and I'm visiting with family, or I'm at work. Nobody is going to mess up my vibe, right? Isn't there a song say, don't kill my vibe? I can't think of the tune right now, because if I could think of it, I would sing it. Don't kill my vibe. I know those. I think those are the lyrics. I just can't get the melody in my mind. Right. All right, neighbor. Yes. Right. B, don't kill my vibe. Right. What about the laws in Leviticus? You said, what about them? Yeah, what about them? That's what you need to ask yourself. What about them? The Bible's psychological. The Bible's not literal. I don't care what those laws were telling you about what not to eat and what to do to another person and how to. The Bible's about your mind. It's about what's going on in your mind. It has nothing to do with what you do physically or outwardly. It has everything to do with what you're doing inwardly. All right, Hoyt. You said they don't know about the laws. The laws are for they have no idea how to raise the Christ within. Right, the kingdom of God is within. You are the law. You are the law. I am the Lord, and beside me there is no other God. You're the law of your own being. And the law of your own being is the law of belief, the law of mind. As you think in your heart. All right. You say you're here to learn. Okay. Yes, I feel that. Yes, the law of life is the law of belief, says Mark 11:24. Therefore I say to you, whatever you desire, when you pray, believe you have received it, and you shall have it. That's the law of life. It's the law of belief. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That you speak life or death over your situations. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. It is by your words are you justified, and it is by your words that you are condemned. Look, this life is all about you. It was never about something outside of you. You determine your lot in life, not what the world is going to do, not what your friend is going to do, not what your boss is going to do, and your siblings or your significant other. It's about your thoughts, no one else's. Now, you can take on someone else's beliefs, but that's still your choice. You're choosing to think a certain way based on what someone else has told you, but you don't have to. You can choose the opposite. You can choose to think differently. I set before you this day good and evil, life and death. Choose life. You got a choice. Decide. Make a decision and then remain faithful to it. Don't be double-minded. Don't be back and forth. Back and forth. Don't keep going back and forth. Stop being double-minded. Make a decision and remain faithful to it. Regardless of what's going on out there. Because you know what's going on out there, if it hasn't caught up to your new story, it's only representative of the old story. And so the quickest way to change the old story, the situations, quote unquote, the circumstances, stop reacting to it. Simple. Stop reacting to the old story. Then the old story, because of lack of attention, dies. Because you stop giving your attention to it, it must die. But because you keep giving your attention to it, you keep talking about it, you keep making excuses about it, you keep complaining about it, you keep worrying about it, you're giving it life. Your attention is the sap of life. What you give your attention to, right? Where attention goes, right? Energy flows, right? Where energy flows or attention goes, energy flows, right? Your attention makes a thing bigger. It causes it to expand. It gives it life. Hey, Siobhan. Hey, Shanzi. Welcome. Hey, all love. So if you took your energy, which is your attention away from the situation, it can't be relevant. It's no longer relevant in your life, in your story. And we're just talking about the story of your life. We're not talking about what's happening with the government. We're not talking about what, the president has going on. We're not talking about your boss's life, your neighbor's life. We're talking about you. You. It's all that matters. You. In your world, your boss, your government is going to shift. You're going to give it a different perspective, a different reality based on your perspective about it. Your perception is how you're perceiving it. That's all that matters. And so perceive that it don't matter what the government does. It's going to work out for you. It's going to be for your benefit. Because government only means what? Mind control. Learn how to control your own mind. That's what it's about. Mastering your mind. That's what it's about. Master your mind. So what is it that you want? That's what you have to sit with yourself. That's what you have to ask yourself. What is it who do you say that I am? What is it that you desire? They move from desire to having, to being, right? The end of being is having. So you desire it, right? That's the mainspring of life. It causes you to want to come up higher, want to experience something differently, not to continue to experience life the same old way, right? You have a desire, and then you're supposed to move from desire to being. Because you want to be the person that has the thing so that the thing may appear. So that's what are you doing? You're shifting your reality. You're shifting your identity to the person that has it. Not someone that's trying to get it, but someone who already has it. Because you're not trying to chase things. You're causing things to make its appearance because it's already there. It already exists. You're not asking for something that doesn't already exist. It's already done. The works are finished. Creation is over. All you're doing is causing it to make it its appearance because now you see it in your mind's eye, even though you can't physically see it. And seeing it first in your mind causes it to appear in your world. Yep, that's simple. Yep, the identity makes it seen. That's it. Yep. Nothing is inherently evil. That part. It's only your thinking causes it to be. So stop thinking it. It's that simple. I know we want to complicate it, and we're like, no, I have to, I have to do this, and I have to do that. I have to do this technique, and I have to do that technique, and I got to do this, and really, all you got to do is stop thinking it. That's really it. But we feel like we have to work for things, and it just can't be that simple. What you mean, just stop thinking it? Well, you have control over your thoughts. You really do. You get to decide. You're the operant power. I know people like to tell you, well, you're not your thoughts, and you're not the cause of your thoughts, and all of these things about thoughts. Okay, then that makes it sound like that you're not the operant power. That makes it seem like you're in subjection to thought. No, thoughts are in subjection to you, not the other way. You're not in subjection to thoughts. You really do get to control your thoughts. You really do get to decide what you're going to think. You are the operant power. Remember, you're the cause. So to say that you're just at the behest of all the thoughts that's going around in the world, right? That you just, you have no control over what thought pops into your mind. Really? Well, if no one ever has control over what pops into their mind, then what are we doing? If we have no control. If we don't get to choose. If we have no authority. If we're just, we just got to go along with the collective consciousness. But once you awaken to the power that's within you, and you realize that you actually do get to choose your thoughts, you do get to create knowingly, wisely, purposefully, intentionally. Now you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want to, quote unquote, create? What do you want to, quote unquote, manifest? You get to decide. And so, yes, you do have to quiet the mind. You do have to shut out the noise. Sometimes you do have to turn the TV off. Put your phone down, your tablets down, leave social media alone for at least 5 to 10 minutes, 3 to 4 times a day. Get still, be quiet, decide, what am I going to be purposeful about in this? Being present in that 5 to 10 minute mark, 3 to 4 times a day. Practicing awareness, because you do want to be aware of what you're being aware of. Oh, yes. Yep. Your mind doesn't run you, you run your mind. Yes. Yes. Exactly. The Bible has all tons of imagination stories in it. Absolutely. The Bible is metaphysical, metaphorical, allegorical, parabolic, right? Symbolic, cosmology, astrology, astronomy, numerology. It's showing you that all is mind and everything is connected. That's what the Bible is showing you. All right? And yes, is it stories that have been told throughout, since we've been communicating with one another from a written standpoint? The Bible isn't new. It isn't, quote unquote. I don't look at it as stolen information. I look at it as shared wisdom, shared knowledge. And when taken literally, yes, it can be a tool of control. It can be a tool of manipulation. It can be a tool of hatred and misogyny. It can be used in that way when taken literally. And it has been used in that way. But all, quote unquote, sacred texts have when you take it literally, when you don't understand that it's figurative language, when you're told that you're only human and you're imperfect, you're an imperfect being, and you have no say-so over your life, that someone else is determining your lot in life, and you have to beg and plead and show worthiness in order for your life to have meaning or for it to change. But really, the Bible's a blueprint about the mind. Once you understand its true meaning, its true purpose. And it's really just telling you how to create the reality in which you want to experience. That's what it's telling you. It's the story of the soul. Of that, reminding yourself that you are the power. That the power is never outside of you. Power is always within you. And so now that you know this, right? You've awakened to this truth. Now what are you going to do with it? That's really the question. Now that the power is in your hand, what are you going to do with the power that's within? What are you going to do with it? What reality do you now want to experience? How do you want to see this life? How do you want to experience this life? Knowing that it's nothing that you have to do, nothing that you should do, nothing that you must do. It's not about doing anything. It's really about being. The Bible is telling you how to be and not how to do. It's not telling you to go out and try to work for anything. The work is not physical. The work is mental. It's self-mastery. And you gain self-mastery through the mind. That's how you gain self-mastery. From within. And you don't need to ask anyone else's opinion about what is right for you. Just sit with yourself and see, and ask yourself, what is it that you want to experience? And there are no limitations. And yes, I know we have been indoctrinated with the limitations. With, only this type of person should get this thing, right? Well, who do you know the right people? Do you have the right amount of money? Do you have the right amount of education? Like we have all of these rules. But there are no rules. There are no rules. You are the rule. You set the standard. And so you're just supposed to see yourself as being the person, and then that's it. And then let life unfold for you. Yes. Hey, Caleb. That's been everyone's biggest problem, Mia, until we realize how to control it and believe in ourselves and trust in ourselves, right? And I think that's the biggest hurdle for many of us, if not most of us, if not all of us, is learning to trust oneself. Learning to trust oneself. That's the biggest hurdle. Yep. Hey, Am Bam. Hello, N.A. And say, how do you trust yourself? It comes with loving yourself. See, love casts out fear. When you allow fear to be predominant in your life because you're worried about, well, what if this one, what this one will say, or what if it doesn't happen the way I think it should happen, or what if this goes wrong? Like we start thinking of things that what could go wrong as opposed to thinking about, well, what can go right? What if it really all does work out for you? What if everything does happen just as you imagined, or even better? What if you got everything that you asked for, everything that you desired? Then what? Instead of focus on what could go wrong, focus on what could go right. That's the transformation of the mind, though, right? And so you have a lot of teachers that will tell you, start small, quote unquote small, right? And they say, well, do little things to increase your faith in yourself. So, maybe you're having difficulties on your job, or, in school, or with a loved one. And you want to test this truth out. Like, does imagining really create reality? Does it really? Okay, I'm going to imagine that I have really great relationships with these people, whether it be your boss, whether it be a co-worker, whether it be a family member, or, whatever. And you decide, tonight I'm going to go to bed as if we really do have a wonderful relationship, that really do get along, that is cordial, mutual respect, honesty. It's just, I get, they praise me, they acknowledge me, they support me, they compliment me. I'm going to go to bed believing that, accepting that. And when I wake up, I'm also going to maintain that same mindset. And I'm going to go to work, or I'm going to go to school, or I'm going to have interactions with these people, and I'm going to choose to see them differently. I'm going to choose to see them in my mind's eye from a different perspective. I'm going to say that, it's always been this way. It's always been that they have always, extended grace, understanding, support, even when it may appear that they're holding on to the old script. I'm not going to respond, because I've changed the story. I'm telling a new story. I'm telling a different story. Yep. Yep. Trust yourself by knowing no matter what decision you make, it's all happening for you. Yes. And it's all happening for your good. It's for your good. You said sometimes you feel like you're fighting attention. Hey, dream woman. If you think that's necessary, dream woman, there's no right or wrong. It's your story. If you think isolation will help, then isolation will help. Remember, there's no wrong or right. There's no good or bad. If you think that's necessary, but remember, you can't get away from you. You can get away from your own thoughts. So I find it hard to see people differently from my emotions. Want to see them. Here's the thing, though, Mia, with that. Remember, you're not changing them. You're changing your thoughts about them. That's the key. Don't look at it as, oh, I need them to be different for me to be happy. No, I need my thoughts to be different for me to be happy. That once I change my thoughts, then I'm changing me. I'm not changing them. I'm choosing to see the best in them because I want the best in me. I want the best for me. I want happiness for me. And my happiness spills over into other things. Joy spills over into other things. Love spills over into other things. I can only get what I give. So when I give understanding and grace and peace and joy, I have to get that in return. That's law. Well, you're telling yourself, who's saying that you're being belittled, dream woman? Who's having that thought? That's what you have to ask. You're judging it as belittled. Why are you accepting the words of another person and you know they're not true? That's what you have to ask yourself, dream woman. Why am I accepting the words of another when I know they're not true? When I know they don't represent me? Why am I agreeing to that? Why am I bothered by that? That's not true. That's not who I am. Let's rewrite that. Let's change that script. Actually, I heard them say, you're amazing, you're intelligent, you're smart, you make great decisions. You can actually hear what you want to hear, not what you think they said. You can actually take their words, and this is what they call alchemize. You're doing an alchemical peel. Like a chemical peel, I call it an alchemical peel. But you're going to alchemize the words, which means you're going to transmute, you're going to transform what you heard, and you're going to hear what you wanted to hear. And you absolutely can do it. You're just telling yourself that you can't. And I'm telling you, you can. But again, it's a choice. You have to choose it. Hey, real estate Nick. Ooh, say that again, Janae. Sometimes faith needs to be the down payment on your own future. This is your world. Well, again, that's the story you're telling, Dream Woman. You're saying you don't. Why are you down on yourself? Why are you don't speak down on yourself? And I get it. You're quote unquote keeping it real. You're telling the truth, but really you're not speaking the truth, because the truth is that you're more confident than you give yourself credit for. You know, you're just telling the old story and you're identifying with the old version. And I'm telling you, in order to bring about a change, you can't identify with the old story. You can't identify with the old mind. You can't identify. You have to have an identity shift, because you can't think that thinking the same way, talking the same way is going to produce a change. It's like what they say. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. What do we call that? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting we call that insanity, right? No, in order to get a different result, you have to do something differently. It really is that simple. You really do have to decide to think. And that's why I say you have to think differently about yourself as you're going to sleep. This is the best time to impress the subconscious or create the state akin to sleep. Take 5 to 10 minutes, 3 to 4 times out the day, and sit with yourself and tell yourself, I am confident. I am self-assured. I love myself. I am brilliant. Even though in the beginning, you may feel like you're lying to yourself. So you've been accepting lies all the time. This actually is the truth. Even though it sounds like a lie, this is actually the truth. But what you accepted as the truth was the lie. Oh, thank you, Janae. I appreciate you too as well. Thank you for your engagement and being here. It does, right, I get it. You're giving the parent more authority, but now you're taking your authority back. But now you can change the story, Dream Woman. Now you can say, actually my father is very proud of me. Actually, my father has always sang my praises. You really can tell that this is what revision is. Revision is telling a completely new story in opposition to what you experienced. This is what revision is. Remember I told you guys the story about me and the cousin that had the argument, right? And I had to change the conversation. And then I told you the manifestation of me changing it, me saying, well, actually, this is what happened. Actually, this is what happened. And I kept doing it. It wasn't like it wasn't one time I said it. I went to sleep thinking and I woke up thinking it every time it came to my mind, because yes, when you have something that you had an emotional reaction to, it's going to come up and it wants to tell the same old story. And so whenever the old story tried to present itself, I had to say, well, actually, this is what happened. Actually, this is what I had to keep saying that. And then eventually I stopped thinking about it. It wasn't at the forefront of my mind. And then, things happened to create the reality that it did not happen, because I convinced myself that it didn't happen. So do you think those defense mechanisms are my natural? Does like denial, revision that protect? Yeah, we're afraid to be vulnerable, right? We think that someone else has power over us, right? But remember, you're the only power, and you can only appear to give your power away. But that's only the appearance. There are no other causes outside of you. So saying that someone else is doing something and someone else is being this way or treating you this way, that's the illusion. There is no one else, right, Mia? Remember how you were saying that it's a one-player character and you're the one player? You're the controller in your reality, and you're the script writer, right? You're the producer, you're the author, you're the director, and you're the star. So you're writing the parts that people are playing in your world. And if you want them to show up differently, then what you have to do? You have to decide to write a different role for them, right? You don't go to them and ask them to change. You change them in your mind. You change them. But here's the thing, because here's the thing. I'm saying change them in their mind, but that's not what you're doing. You're not changing them. You're actually changing your thoughts about them. Because when you change your thoughts about them, they reflect the change that who's made? You've made. Because they're just projections of your subconscious. They're just projections of your thoughts, your assumptions. So we think we're changing them when actually we're changing ourselves. And because we're changing ourselves by changing our thoughts, they have to what? Align to that new thought. But that's the thing. See, you're seeing them as separate from you. So when we see the people in our world as separate from us, we think it's them and not us. When actually you are saying you don't like them because they're only there because of you. You created them. So you're basically saying you don't like your own manifestation. But that's why we have to stop telling ourselves that it's hard. Right? We have to stop telling ourselves that's where the judgment comes in, that we're going to have to learn how to let go. That's eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's only hard because you think it's hard. It's only evil because you think it's evil. It's only bad because you're saying it's bad. You can totally perceive it from a different place. Yep, no harm, no foul, just change the thoughts. I feel you. But who's calling them a bitch and who's calling them mean? Who's making that judgment? That's your perception. But there you go. She just loves me and wants my attention. There you go. Hey, here's the thing. It's nothing wrong with you calling them a bitch and that them being mean. You're saying it's a problem that they're a bitch and being mean. Let them be a bitch and let them be mean. Don't be unbothered by it. Be unbothered by their bitchiness. Be unbothered by their meanness. Because, again, that's not a wrong assessment. But if you're bothered by it, therein lies. So now you're giving power to their mood. Why does their mood upset you? Why do you care that they're bitchy and mean? Like, what does that have to do with you? How is that a you problem? That should be a them problem. You should care less that they're bitchy and mean. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their problem. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. You're not a villain. Now, again, you're making that, you're judging it. Now you're saying because they're a bitch and they're being mean, and if I don't acknowledge their bitchiness and meanness, I'm the villain. Like, why are you in the villain in your own story? Why are you the villain in your own story? But again, is there something wrong with being the villain? Now you have to ask yourself, is it wrong being the villain? Some people like being the villain, and they have fun with it, and they love it, and they're not taking it seriously, right? Because they understand that this life is a game. It's all make-believe. Ain't none of this shit real. So if you want to play the villain in your reality, then play it with pride. Be that. Do that. Love it. But don't make excuses for it. Say LOL, bad gal, Ray. Ray is my new name, right here. Yep, in movies, villains are labeled selfish, but that's a narrative. Exactly, it's all a story, and this is your story. This is your story. Hey, what story you telling? Sometimes it can be fun being the villain. So, who cares? What's wrong with being selfish? People only find it wrong being selfish when you care more about you than you do about them. They want to be selfish and don't want you to be selfish. Like, right? It's like, I need you to do this for me, so I need you to be selfless so I can be selfish by you putting me before you. Say, what now? Why is it okay for me to put you before me, but not okay for me to put me before you? Like, make that make sense. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. This is all about me anyway. Right. So that's the place you got to get to, Mia. You don't give a fuck. Who cares what other people think about you? That's what you have to ask yourself, Mia. Why do you care what other people think about you? Why is it this my world? The world revolves around me, and I give two fucks about what you think about me. Because this is my world. You love me, actually. You playing like you don't. But actually, you love me. You can't get enough of me. You know I'm the shit. You know I am the bomb.com. Stop playing. Stop playing. You know you see it. But that's okay. You don't play the role because I'm writing it for you. I'm writing the role for you as if you don't like me when you know deep in your heart you love me. Yeah. Say literally how I've been talking to myself lately. All right. Yes, self-concept. Hey. Agent Enterprises, yes. Yeah, Mia, but you know what? You're not alone. Many of us have walked that road of, needing validation from the outside, right? And a lot of us deal with that of reminding ourselves that there is no validation. I'm the only validation. Who am I seeking? I'm really seeking myself. Whom do ye seek? We seek Jesus. We're seeking Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I am he. You're it. You're it. It's all you. But that's the conditioning, right? That was impressed upon us really heavily, right? To want to be, appreciated, to want to be a part of something, to want to be like, that's a part of our quote unquote human nature. For us to feel like, other people value us, other people see us, other people understand us, other people see our point of view, right? Like that's like a deep conditioning. And there's actually nothing wrong with that. The thing is, all of that has to come from within. Well, Mia, that's where you have to get off the treadmill of other people. You really have to take your eyes off other people. You really can. Other people do not matter. It does not matter what other people, because there are no other people. If this is a one-player game, who are the other people? Who are these other people that you're talking about if it's a one-player game? I know you keep saying other people, Mia, but if it's a one-player game, who are these other people? Did you not create them? Oh, yes. Okay. Maseroth and Nazareth equals the zodiac. Malachi 4:2, Jesus is the sun. Yes. Yep. So it's been a journey, giving up, trying to be seen. Yeah. And of course, social media plays into that heavily, right? Social media plays into the likes, the follows, right? The interaction, the engagement, right? Anyone who has any type of platform or any type of identity or presence on social media, I mean, we could say, oh, I'm not doing it for clicks. I'm not doing it for likes. I'm not doing it. Yes, we are. Like, I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of the matrix, right? But it's okay if you want to, if you want to get as many likes, you want to go viral, you want people to see your content, you want people to share, you want people to like, the thing is that you're creating the reality of people liking, sharing, and engaging. And like, that's what you're creating. It's your hologram. You're deciding what that will look like. It's your story. It's your movie. It's your play. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that, right? There, people don't become, active on social media not for the engagement, not to, gain the followers or the subscribers or the interaction. Like, that's the whole purpose why you get on social media. And the thing is, you have to stop seeing wrongness in it. You have to stop seeing it as a bad thing or a wrong thing or an evil thing, because it's not. Say Genesis 1 verse 14, the signs. Okay. Break it down for us, Hoyt. Okay, all right. Yep, it's just all about knowing thyself and knowing that, you are the controller, you are the operant power, right? And so you just can tell a whole different story. That's why some people will write things down and will journal it, right? Just so they can, they write down what they want, how they want their world to be, how they want the people to show up in their world, what their new identity, what the new version of them looks like. And then they read it over and over to themselves, especially when they go to sleep, when they first wake up. And sometimes they take several minutes out during the day to remind themselves of, yes, this is my new version. This is my identity. Let me embody it. Let me, marinate. Let me meditate on it. Let me affirm it, right? Because sometimes writing it out gives you clarity. And so if you feel like you need to do that, if that's what resonates with you, write out your story and then leave it close to you on your nightstand or somewhere that you, especially when you start, maybe judging yourself too much or getting down on yourself. Read it and remind yourself of who you are and the version of you that you are actualizing right now. It's not a future reality. It's a now reality. It's a now moment. It's a now thing. Right? Say perhaps that's a reflection that I want likes too. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes. The thing is, it's not trying to decide when and how they come, right? That's what you can't get caught up on when you're having a social media presence and you're deciding to be a content creator or influencer or whatever you want to end up doing on social media, right? Whether you're a consumer or you're a content creator, not getting caught up on, which video is going to get the most likes or which video is going to get the most views or how it's all going to play out. Like, just do it for the fun of it, for the enjoyment of it, right? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Do it because it simply brings you pleasure, because you enjoy it, you like it, you get fun out of it, and, for no other reason. Don't put pressure, don't put any added pressure on yourself, and, and then you will see that, you'll just have a good time, and those who are supposed to, view it and see it, they will. And that's just the mindset you have to carry when it comes to anything, not being so attached to the outcome. Not being, and that's something we have to train ourselves for, because, the spiritual community can be very competitive too. As much as they like to tell you, oh, this is your journey, this is your path, and not everybody's on the same path, not everybody's on the same journey, then this competitiveness comes out. Well, I manifested in 24 hours. I manifested in 72 hours. You want to manifest quick? You want to manifest? Then it becomes about how soon a manifestation can show up. That's that competitive nature that has crept into the quote unquote spiritual community, or those who are, who understand the laws of mind. And now it's making it a comparison and a competition type. And you just got to be careful of that. Don't get sucked into, quote unquote, when or how something is supposed to come, or letting somebody else tell you, I'm not waiting. I'm ready to get it now. I'm ready to get it now. Forget what, Neville Goddard and Dr. Joseph Murphy and Reverend, I forget what they were talking about. I'm getting it now. But people aren't telling the whole story. People aren't telling, telling everything. These people that have, whatever amount of followers they have, whatever, viral videos they have or whatever they say, it didn't happen in a 24-hour period. Some things happen in an instant, and then some things may take 2 days, some things take 5 days, some things take 2 months, some things take 6 months, some things take a year, some things take 2 years, right? No one knows the ways of your divine, the infinite within you are past finding out. You just have to trust that the moment you asked, the answer was yes. That's all you have. You just supposed to remain faithful to the fact that when you asked for it, when you saw it, when you desired it, it was yours. It's yours. And you're just supposed to remain faithful to that knowing and not concerned about when it shows up, and quote unquote, how long, because there is no how long. When you know that you have a thing, the how and the when dissipates. It's when you are doubting and confused and fearful is when you're concerned about the how and the when. That's just showing you that you don't really believe that you have it because you're concerned about how it's going to show up or when it's going to show up. Ooh, all right. That's beautiful. Love that. Ray all day. Yes. Because the thing is, it doesn't take long, quote unquote. It doesn't take long, quote unquote, right? Here's the thing though. You came here for the experience of the unfoldment. You came to experience the third dimension. You came to experience it, seeing how it will come to be. That's why you're in a physical form. And some things just don't take as long as others. What things will take longer, I have absolutely no idea. And no one else does either. But if it's something that you need like right now, then it shows up right now. The spirit is never late. It's always on time. So whenever you need something and you need it to be like right, it always happens exactly when it's supposed to happen, and it's never late. Just remain faithful to it. Know that yes, this has happened. This is a thing. It's supposed to be a joy. It's supposed to be a joy. Right? Because in the spirit, yes, it's instant. There is no time delay in the spirit. Here's the thing. We're in physical form. We're in, density. We're in the third dimension where things take, quote unquote, time. We constructed time in this third dimension. It's part of the limitation. That's part of the experience. That's the part, so knowing that a lot of things, here's the thing. You don't even want things to happen in an instant because you don't want every thought you say, every thought you think to come about instantly. Because if it came about instantly it would be for the good, for the wanted and the unwanted. If everything you thought about happened instantly. Just think about that. Because the pendulum swings both ways, right? And sometimes you may have, you may manifest some things that you didn't intend to manifest. That you weren't being the watchman at the gate. You weren't paying attention. You sowed some weeds. Some tares grew up unaware, says the Bible, right? You didn't even know. You stopped paying attention. Hey, Nick's art. Yep. I notice that when I have conversations with any of my manifestations show up. Yes, that's beautiful. Yep, or you changed your mind. Right. You changed your mind. That's why we have the time lapse, right? Or the time gap. Because you may decide that and here's the thing, when the unwanted shows up, that's another way to change your mind, to revise, to repent. You don't have to stick with anything if you decide that something you wanted, you got, and you found out it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. You don't have to keep it. There's nothing fixed. You can change it. You're like, oh, wait, I thought this was going to be so fulfilling. I thought that's where my happiness lied. I thought that once I, got all the money, or I got the promotion, or I got the job I've always been desiring, and then you get it and you're like, wait, this is requiring more of me than I intended. I didn't want all this responsibility. Hold up. Let me revise this. Let me clean this up right quick. Oh, yes, gratitude. And that's why it's important to, acknowledge the I am, and let the I am guide you, right? To say that, I'm making the right decision that's best for me, that the I am can see everything, the end before the beginning. And so I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to claim that this is the right decision. This is the right way. This is, this is what's best. This is the best opportunity. And I don't miss out on great opportunities. I'm aware of my opportunities, right? Like, that's what we have to be conscious of how, what we meditate on, what we pray about, what we affirm, that we're always affirming right action, right choice, the right path. Hey, the 0120. Yes, higher consciousness. Yes. Absolutely. And then reminding ourselves we can never get it wrong, right? There is no wrong choices. There are no wrong decisions, right? You can right any quote wrong. You can, because it truly is just how you perceive it. That's what it comes down to. How are you perceiving it, right? Because now you experience something, you thought it was going to be another way, and then you start experiencing like, yeah, no, I ain't really feeling this anymore. Let me go ahead and revise something and think of something else and see myself doing something else. And that is completely okay. That is completely okay. You can't mess it up. You can't get it wrong, because this is your movie. You always have the power to rewrite. You always have the power to edit. You always have the power to redirect. There is no fixed state. You can move in and out of any state anytime you get ready. And then sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. But I do believe when you meditate and you pray and you affirm and you're seeking guidance from within, you won't be led astray. When you're trusting that inner guidance, that intuitive knowing, when you're like, yes, and you're trusting, and you've tested it, and you've proved to yourself that yes, when you trust that inner you know if something feels good or not to you. No one else can tell you that. Only you can tell you. Only you will know if something feels right for you. Like, do what feels right to you. You feel like, I think this, I'm feeling more led to this. Even though, because sometimes people get led by money. Never let money be the reason why you do anything. Do things because you love it and you feel good about it, and know that you'll always be provided for. Don't do things out of desperation or out of lack, from a lack mentality, thinking like, man, if I don't take this, another opportunity won't come along. That's BS. Don't think that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity and you must do something that you wouldn't normally do, or you don't feel good about it, but just because the money looks good, that's why you do it. Don't let money be the reason, because you are the money. You are the resource. So your brain be trying to be on that lately? Yeah. Especially when you come across so many people that, tell you, they got the money, they're doing what they absolutely love, what they're creative about, what they're passionate about, and then feeling still unfulfilled, still not liking themselves, still finding it difficult to find, fulfillment in oneself. That's why it's so important. That self-concept is so important. Because I was blown away by the one guy, I think his name was Wisdom K, and I came across his video today, and him talking about, he has several million followers and, subscribers, and he makes, $3 to $4 million a year the last couple of years. Young guy too. Young guy, like mid-20s, and he's really into that fashion, and his fashion is art, right? And he's a videographer, and he just has all this skill, all this talent. And for him to say that he hates himself is like, it's almost like your mind can't compute that. Your mind can't understand it. It's like, wait a minute, you're doing exactly what you want to do, which is create art through fashion. You're doing what's innate within you. You're following your passion and your dreams, and you're like, people say they want to be like me. They would trade places with me, but like, you don't even know. I hate myself. I hate myself. I'm just like, what? Like, huh? Like, slow down. Like, what? Hey, Bella Goddess. You said you found you saw a story about a black doctor who struggles with self-worth. Wow. Yeah, you say you love wisdom. Yes. Yes, very hurtful words. Yes, it is. Right. That's why the self-concept is so key, right? And again, we don't know all the ins and outs of his career and, and what he has, because sometimes when you follow your dreams and your desires, and then the business side of it comes, that's when you get discouraged, right? When your desire, when your dream, when your passion, when your creativity becomes a business, now it's like, I'm having these contracts with other people, and I have to meet their standards and meet their guidelines because they're paying me hundreds of thousands of dollars to create this video, and it has to be in a certain time frame. It has to meet certain standards. And maybe that's the part that he isn't so in love with. And he's saying it as something against himself, when it really could just be, again, that's trying to analyze what he has going on, and without like really talking to him and understanding like his perspective, why he would see like, man, those are some strong words. Like, is that really how you feel? Or you just, and so we have so much deep conditioning, especially, being in this Western society and being of a certain quote unquote skin color or identifying with a certain ethnicity comes with a whole lot of baggage in and of itself, and who knows, how that may be playing a part in how he sees himself. Detachment from the how and the when. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, he definitely would. Right. Hopefully that's not an issue. Again, that's just me trying to understand. I'm on live. I'll call you back, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Hey. Peace, Michelle So Divine. Yeah, though, on two. So it's probably layered, right? It's so layered, and when you start to realize your dreams and you start seeing all this money coming in, and and all of this, because yes, to just to make content, he gets paid very, very well, right? But who knows what type of added pressure that adds when he's working with all of these different brands and having all these different contracts and having to meet a certain time. And, who knows what all that extra stuff, plays on someone's, mental and psyche. That's why it can't only be about the money, right? You have to be like, okay, some stuff I'm not going to do just because it just doesn't sit well with me. Some stuff I'm going to have to turn down just because, my mental health is is priceless. You can't put a price on that. But some people just get into the position where they can't say no. They're responsible for their family. I'm sure, like him being a young guy and coming from a place where he didn't come from money, I'm sure that's extra pressure too, to be responsible for like having, being the breadwinner for your family and everything. So it's so layered. So many things that go along with it. But hopefully he finds the peace that he's looking for and learns how to love himself and believe in himself and know that, because he's realized that the fulfillment does not come in how much, in a dollar sign, and how big your bank account is. So he's discovering that, right? You heard Will Smith say the same thing, right? You heard Jim Carrey say the same thing. That's why you want to get that self-concept in order. You want to know that regardless of how much dollars come into the bank account, that you were you before the dollars came. That you know who you are before the fame, before the fortune, before the accolades. That you weren't looking for the world to tell you who you are. That you knew it way before the world knew it. And the world is just confirming something you already knew. That is so important. But when you make the world be the validation, then that's where you come in and you're in that weird spot now, and you're trying to like, oh, I thought that once I got the fame and the fortune and the bank account and the house and the cars, and I thought all of these accolades and all this validation would come, I thought that I would find fulfillment, when this is where the Bible says the world cannot give you peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding only comes from within. And the world didn't give it to you, and then the world can't take it away. So make sure whatever you're desiring, right, you can have it all. You just got to know that the world didn't give you anything. You gave it to yourself. You called it forth. You're the reason. Don't give credit to anything outside of you. Don't say that, oh, it's the money that made me rich. Oh, it's the followers that made me famous. Oh, it's the, being asked to these award ceremonies and the Met Galas and all of that. That's what did it. That's what put me on top. You don't give power to outside things, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with having those things, enjoying those things, experiencing those things. Just don't say that they are what makes you, or they're the reason for, your success. Exactly. I'm the reason. Yes, it's the mindset. It's the mindset. It all starts from within. So because you can have whatever you want. Just get that self-concept in order. Love you, have peace in you, no need to seek outside of yourself. Trust in you, believe in you, know that you are the prize, you're the reason. You called these things forth, because how can he not be that talented in the world, not acknowledge it? I mean, his talent is like just top tier. It's just like, wow, like just the different things. His creativity is like, man, just off the charts for real. And that's why I say, no one else can tell you. So I would never say, well, don't ask for money, or you don't want the money, or you don't want the house, or you don't want, the expensive cars. No, have those things, because there's no right or wrong in it. When you get it and you don't find fulfillment in it, then you know that the things were not where you're going to find your fulfillment. Now you know that, the fast car, the big house, all it brought was more responsibility. Yeah, that big old 10,000 square foot home. Yes, that means somebody else got to come in and clean it, and somebody else has to come and maintain it, and and that just means whatever more responsibility. And just know that yes, you're capable of the more responsibility. You can handle it. You know, there's a reason why you wanted it, why you wanted to experience it. For no other reason than to experience it. Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Ray all day. Congratulations. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful success story. Yes. And that's what uplifts everyone. That's what inspires everyone. Telling our success stories. Telling, that, man, how powerful we are. That the mind, that our consciousness, our awareness is everything. Is everything. It is everything. It is everything. Yes, and my inner voice was strong. Absolutely. Absolutely. It has to be, right? You have to be disciplined. You have to be committed. You have to be steadfast, determined, right? Because those doctors, the medical, field, they have their script, right? And so you have to change their script. They have a script that they have to follow. They have a script that they have to tell you. And so you have to be like, nope, I'm rewriting your script. This is my movie. This is my story. And this is the script that you have to stand by when it comes to my story. This is not your movie. This is my movie. You say definitely a script. And I saw that. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we use the Bible. I only use the Bible because I like, what its purpose. I understand its purpose. I understand that it's a manifestation book. I understand it's a science of mind. It was not how the religious organizations use it. That was not its intention. But yes, it's just like electricity in the hands of someone who does not understand electricity. You can harm yourself as well as others. Well, that's how the Bible is in our religious organizations' hands. They harm others with taking it literally. The Bible, yes, is a powerful book, and it can be used to hurt and it can be used to help. And unfortunately, in the hands of the literal minded, it hurts people. It does all kind of, quote unquote, unwanted, unfavorable, traumatic events occur because of the literal minded. The Bible was never intended to be interpreted from a literal perspective. But it's part of the matrix. It's part of the illusion. It's part of the construct, just like our governments, just like our school systems, just like our financial institutions. They're all part of the matrix. They're all part of the limitation. They're all part of the constructs we created to limit ourselves, to experience the illusion of separateness, to experience the duality. Well, I love this. I've never shined brighter. Yep, telling that new story is key, and remaining faithful to it is key. And I know sometimes it can seem difficult when the stuff is right in your face, when the things that you want to change, it may be coming from people that are close to you, right? It's like that old saying goes, right? The people that hurt you are the ones that's closest to you, right? Because they are the ones in close proximity, and you hold them in a certain way. You give them certain authority. You give them certain, you give them a certain meaning. So that's the reason why they can hurt you, because you see them in a different light. But now you have to realize that they're there because of you. That the way they are interacting and engaging with you is because of the way you see them. It's because of your concept of them. And once you decide to change your thoughts, that's all you want to do. You just want to change your thoughts and remain faithful to the new story. They have to assimilate. They have to come in alignment with the new story. Remember, no one has any free will in your movie. This is your story. This is your play. This is your hologram. You're telling the story. They have no free will. They have to oblige. They have to come in subjection to your story. But you have to be faithful to the story. You can't go back and forth. You can't tell a new story and then as soon as they don't, like, any of you ever been in a play, like a school play, right? And as soon as you learn the lines, but you forgot your lines, or you're rehearsing and then you forgot the lines to the script, and it's like, oh man, somebody has to feed you the line. That's how it is with your new story and your circumstances and your interaction with the people. You wrote a new story and they come and they play and they're reading from the old script. You're just supposed to feed them the new words. You're supposed to be like, that's not what I told you to say. I actually told you to say this. But you don't say it to them. You say it inwardly, right? They're rehearsing and you keep rehearsing until what? They get it right, because eventually they get it right. Why? Because you're feeding them the script. You're telling them what to say. You're giving them the words. Is there something about that fire? So that's how you have to see it. Whenever they come into your reality and they start trying to pull out that old script, we're not reading off that old script anymore. Feed them the new lines. This is what I told you to say. I told you to say this. I told you to talk this way to me. I told you to be proud of me. I told you to support me. I told you to think well of me. I told you to celebrate me and compliment me and see my intelligence and, my intuitiveness and see, tell the story that you want to experience. It is important that you remain faithful because it's your story. They're only feeding off your energy. They're feeding off your energy. You're the lead. And so you're the star. You're the lead role. So everyone else is just feeding off the lead role. Everybody else is playing a part to support they're the supporting cast. Everyone in your world is a supporting cast, and they're supporting you in your story. So remain faithful to that new story. That's key. Hey, Glaze Innovations. And like I said, whatever you have to do to remain faithful to it, if you got to do a vision board, if you have to journal it, if you have to, whatever you feel that resonates with you, right? Because there's more than enough techniques out there that you can, you may just discover that you don't need any of that, right? Or you may have your own way of doing it, something nobody else even talks about. You're like, no, this is what works for me. I have my own ritual. I have my own way of bringing manifestations into my experience. And so I'm just going to lean on that. Whatever resonates with what you know how you manifest, regardless of how someone else tells you, oh, I know this work. I did this for me. Yes, that was for them. You have to discover what works for you. What works for you. Now, there have been many studies, a lot of scientific research that says going to sleep right before bed and creating the reality. Thank you, Glaze. Creating and seeing yourself as the person as you fall asleep. And when you first wake up in the morning, how they say how the brain waves interact with all of that, and what is it, theta or beta waves, whatever theta. Well, I think it's theta right before sleep. And that's when that conscious mind is at abeyance and you're going right into the subconscious mind. That's when you want to impress that subconscious. That's when you want to talk to yourself as though you already are the being. And then you find yourself dreaming about it. That's how you really know that it's there, because then you start dreaming about it. Hey, CC. Or you find yourself at peace. That's really the sign, the peace, the stillness, that you're not worrying, that you're not, concerned, that you're not, doubtful or fearful. And sometimes, yes, you may be a little nervous it's okay to be nervous, right? It's okay to be nervous. Nervous, and you feel like, you're still supposed to go that way. You feel like you're still supposed to do it anyway, even though you're nervous. It's okay to be nervous. A lot of people are nervous before because they've never experienced the thing. But nervousness and fear are not the same. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful, Duchess Delusional. Yes. Whatever, yep, whatever resonates with you. So and regulating the nervous system. And so if somebody wants to try those that, I'm sure there are different videos and different, ways to find it. Because I'm not familiar with regulating the nervous system, so I really can't speak to that method or that technique. I mean, I've heard people mention it before, but not real familiar with it. Remember, there's no wrong or right. It's just giving yourself permission to have your desire, to be the person you desire to be. That's really all a lot of these techniques are. They're just you giving yourself a permission to experience your desire. Because it's already yours. It's already yours, right? You just have to allow yourself to give it to yourself. That's what you're doing. You're just allowing yourself to give it to yourself. Oh, okay. Okay, now I've heard of the EFT tapping too. Okay. So that's the same thing as regulating the nervous system. Yep, whatever can put put you at ease, to put you in that stillness of knowing, that peace of knowing, of trusting yourself. Trusting yourself comes through application, right? That's how you trust yourself. You have to apply this truth. A lot of times we want other people to do the work that only we can do. No one else can think for you. Only you can think for you. Can we manifest for others? Yes, we can. Yes, we can manifest because there is no other, right? There is no other in your reality. You can decide to see people differently because you're thinking differently about them. But we're not here to do the work for another that they can do for themselves. That makes them dependent upon you. And then they don't trust in themselves. You didn't come here to save anyone. You didn't come here to be anyone else's savior. You came here to spread the good news that the power they were looking for was always within. But no one needs a savior. People just need to trust in themselves, to wake up. Let people know that the power that they've been looking for is in them. That's where it is. It's never on the outside. It was always on the inside. It was always within. That's it. That's all. Yeah, it only matters if you accept what he says. That's what it comes down to. Do you accept it? Don't accept it. But just remember to tell the new story. Remain faithful to the new story. I'm about to go. I appreciate you guys for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Remain faithful to the new story. You have to tell the new story and remain faithful to it. Don't let, the circumstances, you have to sit with yourself. You got to ease your mind. You got to find the peace from within. It does require you making a choice. And then remaining faithful to that choice regardless of what's going on out there. Out there has no power. Out there is based on old news, right? As Abraham Hicks would say. Out there is based on the old story. You're now telling a new story. So then you just tell the old story. We're good. We're changing scripts. We have new dialogue. And we're no longer subscribing to that way of thinking anymore. Talk to yourself. Be kind with yourself. Be easy with yourself. Trust yourself. Remain faithful to yourself. And never, ever give up. Don't lose heart. You know, even when things may seem like they're getting worse. That's appearances. Yes, for the shift to take place, sometimes some things have to be moved out of the way. Sometimes some things have to happen in your reality to bring about the new world, to bring about the new version. Don't go by appearances. No matter what's happening, it's all working out for you. Regardless of what's happening, it's all working out for you. Until next time, guys, have a good one.